And we are live. Welcome. How you doing, Pickle Dick?
Hey, zebra tits.
Bet your boots. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. We're here.
Well, it's been a minute. Actually, it's been 3 weeks since we've recorded, and this one's all going to be on me. I'm going to go ahead and take this one on the chinny chin chin. Um, we're still not good with technology, even though I work for a technology company. Seems like my computer was on mute, so we're a week late. But hey, this is the future.
Unfortunately.
Bet your ass. See, kids, sometimes technology, it's not its fault. It's our fault.
Yeah. But
It's still technology's fault. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
It's always their fault. So fuck them. But anyway, how you been?
I've been pretty good, man. I've been all right. You know, ups and downs, shit like that, you know. So it's all good though. Um, yeah, kind of some funny stuff off the back. So I was gonna say, like, because we were going to record um last week, but there's a hiccup and everything, and I was gonna say my parents were just in town, but now it's my parents were just in town 2 weeks ago or more. Um, so it was my mom, my dad, my sister, and her oldest kid, Zoe, which is like a random pair, or however many people that is, 4 people, um, to have all at once at my house.
Yeah.
Maybe my mom, definitely my mom, maybe my dad. Like one time he stayed here, and my sister's never been in the house, and neither has her kid.
Right.
So just a couple of quick funny things. Like her kid is, I think, is gonna be um like a real teenager coming up in a couple of days. Well, yeah,
Not a fake one.
she's 13 now, so I guess she's gonna be 14. So I don't know what, because there's like preteens, right? And then you're a teenager. I don't know. So whatever. She's gonna be 14, and she's fucking funny and snappy and really mean. Like it's really funny. She has some like just funny, but like mean but funny shit. Like you're like, damn, that was fucking mean, but it was funny. So that's why at least I'm laughing, and everyone's like, oh man, this fucking 14-year-old just handed me my ass. Like, well,
Nice.
I had to go walk the dog, and everyone wanted to come, so we went on this like family walkabout with the dog, right? And um, my sister was like jokingly like, "Oh, she's always, talking about her kid, like, oh, she's always making fun of me and giving me shit and being mean, and she's always calling me poor." And and then her kid starts laughing, and I'm like, she's poor because of you. And then and then she said like she's like, it's not my fault she had 4 kids.
Oh.
Damn. And I looked at Elizabeth and I'm like,
This kid's coming up in the real world.
yeah. I'm like, well, I mean, like, shit. I mean, what are you gonna say? And the reason why she like didn't get like left behind in a town and like in Portland and not brought home is because everyone was laughing. The reason why there was like a public child beating is because it was funny.
It is funny.
And then it got brought up that it was going to be her birthday and that she was going to be 14. And I was, it was just kind of, messing around, just like, damn, you're going to be old. She goes, shut up, you're almost 40.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, just like he's keep on coming at us, just left and right. And it's funny because she's like a quiet kid, like keeps to herself. Like there's so many times that we're in the kitchen talking like adults do, drinking
Right.
and yelling at each other. And I look over and she's just in the front room, like reading a book or like just like, I don't know, whatever in the kid, and I just remember being that kid, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then so she's quiet, but when she pipes up, she's got some zingers. Tell you what, like there was like she had the whole room laughing when she said, "Shut up, you're almost 40."
There it is.
uh,
That's funny, dude. Well, there's not a whole lot to do in Terrebonne, you know? Just think and talk shit.
yep. Like I think it's funny. It probably sounds mean to people, but like, I won't see her for like 6 months, almost a year. I'll come to their house. I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" All excited to see her. She just goes, "Oh, hi." I'm like, "What have you been up to?" She just goes, "What?"
Nice. She's like fucking Daria from the
Yeah, it's
90s.
just like, "What do you want?" I'm a teenager. I don't care about what you have. I don't give a shit. Like, leave me alone. I'm like,
Cool.
yeah, I respect that because I feel like that on a daily basis to people, so I get it. And you're a little young and got an attitude for no reason, but okay, it's fine.
Oh, it'll continue on for a few more years. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's just the beginning of that. That's how Jessie was. And she's like, I want to go live with my mom. I'm like, fucking, I'll buy you a ticket. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
No, we went to our wits' end on that shit. But, yeah, good luck with, hey, at least you don't live with
That's
her.
what I say. Well, see, that's the thing about being an uncle. You can have fun and do things, but when shit hits the fan, you just go, I don't know, fucking whatever.
Yeah, see ya.
It's your fault that you had 4 kids. Like, um,
That's what I mean. It's funny, it's like there's nothing you can say about that.
because she's right. Like,
I
sure,
know.
it's
It's like you
it's
just shut the
mean.
whole thing down.
It's mean, and maybe like when we were growing up, we might get like a fucking like a backhand,
Right.
you know. But
Yeah, no one does it. Yeah, no one lights anybody up anymore. So now when your kid insults you, you're the one sitting there wishing someone slapped you around instead.
you're right.
There's nothing you can do about it. The harsh reality. I saw there's this video circulating on Instagram of some girl where she's like maybe in her 20s and she's teasing her nephew. She's like, "You peed your pants. You peed your pants." He's like, "So at least I don't make my living on a stripper pole." And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And someone's like, "She does." Like she is a stripper. And she shut right down. She was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh."
Well, see, that's the thing is when a kid says something like that, you're just like, well, what are you going to discipline them for being right?
No, you're
You
no.
know?
This day and age, you shut your mouth. Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's why there's no you know there's no level anymore. There's no level of respect for parents. You're
Yeah.
on your own. It's the kid. You're like equal. That's how it is these days. Like you know what I mean. Like kids don't really respect their parents, and parents don't really demand much respect from their kids. So
Hmm.
there it is, right in your face. Yeah, I think that's fun. I mean, like Jesse's, same situation. Her mom's had 4 kids, and
Hmm.
all Jesse ever talks about with her mom is when she keeps talking about her funeral. I'm like, why do you keep talking about your mom dying?
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's what's next. I'm like, it's like she's younger than me. Like, fuck. Like I mean, it's a harsh reality. You've done drugs your whole life. You're probably going down, but it's just really funny. That's all she talks about. I'm like, dude, you're like 19, and all you're talking about is burying your mom.
Yeah.
It's like these parent, these parents who are hooked on drugs and shit, and then they get sober, and they're like, oh, I hope my kid thinks about me. But like, yeah, they're thinking about you, all right. They're thinking about getting you out of the fucking way. Like, it's what's it's what's fucked up about life. It's like, when you're going like when I was going through this stuff with Jesse and I we were working it out together, going through all these, this shit. It was really fucking hard. And now all that's like, the reassurances I had to give her, all that stuff you had to tell the kid at that age, people care about you, all those things. And then when they grow up and they realize the reality of it, and you're kind of out of the equation like I am,
Hmm.
and it's just they can see things for what they are, and it's like I just sit there. I kind of chuckle when she tells me things. I'm like, damn, I'm glad you ain't talking about me like that. But I didn't earn that. You know what I mean? Like, luckily, I learned the other I earned the other conversation. You know, fucker was there for me, so
Right.
I'm the one she vents to. When you're going through hell, man, just keep going. It'll get
Right.
better.
Well,
And that's what it is with parenting. It's funny. It's like you really owe it to yourself. This is not a public service announcement, but you owe it to yourself to be a decent parent, because if you're not, your kids are going to fucking let you know. This
mhm,
ain't the 80s. They're not scared of you. They'll tell you you're a piece of shit.
right.
Obvious. I mean, your sister's not a piece of shit, but I mean, her daughter calling her out for having 4 kids and not having any money. It's like an All in the Family episode, you know? It's like, God
Yeah.
damn. It's just a
Yeah.
fucking, what is this? I think that's really funny.
Yeah. And
I
it
can
is,
relate. I'm like, ooh, I know that hurt.
yeah. Well, because give my sister credit. She does really good. She like tries her fucking best, and she is a very, very good mom. Like she like if there would be an award, she should definitely get one. Like
There you go. There you go.
she's a great person and a really good mom. She's not absent. She's not on any drugs or anything. She's a fucking really good mom. She does a really good
There you
job.
go. Yeah.
So, if you hear this, you should know that. But
And kids are still going to be dicks.
yeah. Oh, her saying that doesn't have a reflection on her. It's just a kid, the kid said something funny and everyone laughed. It was a good.
Oh no, right, right.
The thing is they have like a friendship. You see them together, like
Yeah.
if you didn't know, they look a lot alike. They're fucking, so like related. So like of course, but like they look a lot alike, and her kid is tall, like the same size as her. So like if you just saw them and they're like kind of like, tickling each other, making fun of each other, pushing each other around, like you'd be like, oh, they're sisters, big sister and little sister. You might think that
Right.
because they kind of have that playful friend relationship. But yeah, but anyhow, it was funny, and they're gone, so that's good. But how you been, man? How's your last 3 weeks since we've last talked to each other?
I'm good, man. It's been a long fucking time since we've been able to record because,
Yeah.
whatever. But I went to Disney. I don't think we've recorded since I've done that.
Mm-mm.
And we went to I honestly was kind of interested to see how that trip was going to go because Jesse put most of it together. She's the fucking kid, can do logistics like nobody's business. But we went with my grandson and her parents, my daughter and her dad, or Joey's dad, and her 2 friends, who had the one girl who watches Joey, basically Joey's babysitter, if you will. They're sisters. They came with us, and they had never been to Disney or California, I don't think. And one of the girls hates to does it. Well, we found out one girl doesn't like to fly,
Right.
and the other one doesn't like to drive. So we chose the flying option, but the one girl, we didn't know if she liked to fly yet or not. So long story short, I've flown many a times, but never have I had the privilege of flying next to someone who's throwing up in a barf bag.
Oh.
But this time I did, and it was pretty cool, honestly. I was like, this is, because I wanted to be next to my grandson, but he's over there on the other side of the plane enjoying himself, having a blast. And I'm sitting over here with 2 girls, and they were cool as shit, but I just felt so bad. All of a sudden we're coming down and the plane's doing its shit, and the girl pulls out the puke bag, and it's just like as we're coming down, I just kind of see her, like her feet coming off the ground, like she's like the full body, like it's like, but she's in the window seat, so I'm kind of like looking past her throwing up to look out the window because I really like to look out. I like to see when we land. I always like that, so I'm kind of like looking right at her throwing up, like but as a silhouette. So I see LA in the background, and then I see someone throwing up in a barf bag, and I really just want to take a picture because, like, that's that's a euphemism for LA. Like,
Yeah,
makes me
right.
sick. I was like, that should be on a T-shirt for LA.
Right.
I just landed, and God, I'm nauseous. It was fucking. So then we take so we all end up, we Ubered over to Anaheim, we had a hotel lined up and all that shit, and we order weed,
A
right?
what?
So you can have weed delivered to you. And
This, this is the future, man. That's crazy. Fucking hell, man.
unfortunately.
Man, that's insane, man.
So this kid shows up. this kid sh-
Blows my
and then,
mind.
honestly, man, I think I spent $100 on like 5 or 6 joints and a vape thing for them. They like the vape shit. It was very generic. It wasn't. I didn't. It was. It was okay. They were like shitty joints. I didn't understand it. It was garbage. But it was funny enough. Like the dude shows up at the hotel, and he's just like, "I have an order for so and so," and I'm just like, "Yeah, are you my DoorDash driver?" He's like, "No, I'm your drug dealer." I was like, "Far out!" And like the front doors to the hotel are open. So I came back in with my bag of shit, and the guy's like, he's like, "Is that your drug dealer?" I was like, "No, it's somebody else's." Just, but yeah, man, we had. So then the girl who got sick, like on the plane, she really wanted to go to. We went to Disney, and that poor thing, like she couldn't ride much. Like I felt
Because she
bad,
would get
like
fucking
Disney
sick.
rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept getting sick on the Disney rides. Like eventually she built up to it. So we were there for 3 days, and at the end of the 3 days, she had gotten on some more things. Because we were like, hey, like if you can your stomach can calm down enough, you should at least ride Pirates of the Caribbean. Like something, like get on the haunted, because the haunted house is a pain in the ass to ride right now. You have to have a reservation. Um,
Dude,
Disney's a total shit show.
yeah, man,
But
but if she's on Pirates of the Caribbean, she'd also get fucking seasick, So that's like a
oh,
double
not
whammy. It's a double
those
whammy, man.
times.
You can't once she's on a ride, she's getting sick, then she's on the in the ocean, open water, fucking throwing up on fucking,
Hey,
Free Willy. I've
Hey,
done
she didn't get sick. She looked at us and she said, "Boats and hoes," and she got right on that
gotta
boat.
have my
It was
boats
not
and
a problem.
hose.
Boats and hoes. It's not a problem. She did all right. I just felt bad because she's like 15 or something. I was just like, I mean, my grandson's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And this poor girl's just like,
Well, because your grandson's got your fucking wild ass blood in him. And where he's just like, yeah.
Well, listen, man. Like, I don't know if you've been to Disneyland.
No, man, I haven't. No.
All right, well, not to give it away, but in Pirates of the Caribbean, you go underground, and there's a couple of, you're in a big boat, maybe holds 20, 30, 25 people, and there's no lap bars or anything. So it's not a vigorous ride, but you're in the dark, and then you go down a couple of like 5-foot hills, and it gets really dark, and like there's this echo. It's like dead men tell no tales, and it's all this cool shit. So my grandson is sitting in between me and his dad, and I can't see him. He's just this little, little guy, just sitting there. But he's got his hand on each of our legs, and as we go down, like as he gets scared, you could feel his little hand like squeeze each other. It was the cutest thing. He's just
Yeah.
like he wouldn't say anything. You just feel that him squeeze my leg. I'm just like, here we go. He'd go, he'd be like, scary. I'd be like, yeah, but it's fun, right? Like, yeah. I'm like, there you go. Like, watch this pirate. He's gonna get his head blown off. Or the people in the boat are like, this guy's fucked up. Like, yeah, well, whatever. Don't go to
Um,
fucking Disneyland with a jar head.
did you
Joe,
not?
you want to see some violence?
Did you not? Did you not get sick when the girl was throwing up next to you?
No. I was like, I mean, when we hit the ground and she was still Ralphing, I was like, hey, you can stop throwing up. We made it. She's like, I was like, I
would get
thought you were
sick.
scared because we were gonna die. Like,
Dude,
we're
I
fine.
would. I feel a little queasy hearing about it. Not really, but like if I was sitting next to someone throwing up, I would fucking throw up. If I was sitting in front or behind someone throwing up, I might gag a little bit and be like, like I have that reaction. I see someone throwing up, and I'm like,
Well, like
yeah,
I remember seeing the vomit go in the bag because the bag was lit
yeah,
up by the window,
yep.
so I could see the fluid. You know what I mean? I was just like trying to I'm like, can you move that bag? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Look at that. Look at that airport, huh? Look at that airport. Get that vomit out of here. I want to see the airport. But yeah, I don't know. She was just nice kids and everything. No, I thought because these two were sisters, we all thought there was going to be some sister drama. Like I was just like, because I was like, if you see me walk away, it's because I ain't here for that shit. But no, everybody was cool as a cucumber. Everybody had a good time. I like going with them, my kids, whatever. They're fun. They're laid back like I am. Thank God.
Right.
They don't need to ride everything. They just want to chill out and have a good time. Ride what we ride. Yeah, Disney. We went to I met up with Danger, who those of you who watch the show remember him from past episodes
Yeah,
being mentioned.
he's like a topic, or like he's like a
He's a character.
well on the show he's a topic. He's
Yeah,
like
he's right. But he's a character. But he's a character that comes in and out of our stories for
he's
sure.
like a fucking tit-foo celebrity.
Well, and we'll get him on the show one day. With maybe he'll dress like he's at Jurassic Park or something. I don't know.
I'm totally down with it, but I kind of almost like it, and just it being like this, like
Mystery.
he's like a myth or something, you know?
So dig this, man. Like I run into these guys, right? I tell my kids, I'm like, I'm gonna go meet up with Danger at this bar because they had to make a reservation. So it was him and his two friends.
A reservation
Yes.
for a bar?
Yeah, I got you. So Danger made a reservation for the Star Wars bar.
Oh.
It's the bar that's in the first movie, where you walk in there and it's like all dangerous and there's bounty hunters, you know. Dun, 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 dun. It's like particular music.
He would be in there.
And there's like stormtroopers out front, like looking for us, it's like being on a movie set.
Right.
Anyway, you have a reservation, you go into the bar, they seat you. These drinks are like $20, pretty tasty. They have a DJ in there, a robot who's a DJ, and it was fun. But the funny thing was, to me, was that you got these three grown-ass men in Disneyland, and I had not been with them all day. I don't know what's going on. I just showed up in the middle. And I've been hanging out, stoned off my ass in Disneyland with my kids and just having a good time. And I run into these three, and they look all down and out and shit. And I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, they're mad at me. And I'm like, the fuck you talking about, man? We're going into a Star Wars bar. Who gives a shit? Get a drink. Let's have a good time, And so these two are like, they're having a quarrel. Like,
I think you talked about this, didn't you?
I don't think so. Did I? Did we talk about? I didn't think we did the Star Wars thing.
No, but I remember there was a thing about them being mad at him for something, and maybe this was like same people.
I think I told you on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I'm sitting over there. These three, it's just weird because we're in a Star Wars bar and there's all this theming going on. And I'm seriously just happy. I already have a buzz and I'm drinking this drink as fast as I can to catch another one. And these chuckleheads are over here. So they're all like they're all like sitting there like kind of odd and grumpy, and it's really busy and all this stupid music's going on and everyone's dressed in character. So I just walk away from them. It's just like, and I'm over there like walking like all high and shit. I'm like, dun 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 dun. And I'm over there hanging out with the DJ and shit, like taking pictures with myself. I'm just like, I'm having a riot. I look over there and I take this picture, like three grumpy dudes at the bar, like it's like if this is the movie, like y'all ain't getting any clients. Y'all ain't looking very friendly over there. No one's gonna ride in your spaceship with you. No, I'm not coming on your cargo ship. I'm going on this one over here. I was having a blast, and I just think it's so funny when you see someone pissed off in a theme park, and you're like, oh well. I told you the story about the next day we were in the car,
right?
And this was the next day. They were all mad at each other, and the kid in the back snaps at him. Because he didn't know how to park. I don't know, it just got weird. And I was like, hey, so fuck this. I'm going to get a taco. Just got out of the car and left again. I was like, I'm not sitting in these fucking arguments. I'm out. Fuck this shit. Thanks for doing this shit before I got here. Yeah, I don't, there's something about my age right now. I don't care. I'm like, is there an argument? Bye. I'm leaving. Don't give a shit. Same thing on the call. If you want to fight with me on a sales call, I'll hang up on your ass. I don't care. Bye. Right. What are you going to do? Fire me? I want to get fired. Please. Help me. Are you going to get a survey? I hope not. I hope they just fire me. I don't want another survey. I want a big piece of paper that says, you're fired. That's what I want. Fuck arguments. I'm out. So yeah, that was fun.
That's awkward, man. When people like when family is fighting, it's definitely awkward, and you don't want to be around it. But at least in the back of your head, you can be like, they're family. They've been each other. They've known each other their whole life or whatever. You could like chalk it up to that. But when friends are fighting, it's like, dude, you traveled how far to get here and paid how much to do what, and you guys are bickering over like you're dating. Like, shut up. Like when someone if someone's bad at parking, so what? They're bad at something. Everyone's bad at something. They just happen to be doing it in public.
Yeah.
Sure, it's annoying, and you could be like, I could do this better. But what if you can't? What if circumstances are actually hard and they're giving them shit for no reason? I don't know. I feel bad for people sometimes, when people are giving them shit. It's like, shut up. Let them, like, yeah, they're having a hard time. You've never had a hard time at something? Like,
Right. Well, he's one of those guys that puts that he's the grand facilitator. So people like that often get burned because they want other people to be included. They want other people to have a good time. They pay for they pay for everything, and they usually when you do that for people, the kind of people that would come along and let you pay for everything, those are the same people who'll be totally ungrateful.
Yeah.
And those are usually the people that'll start a fucking argument in the middle of a vacation about nothing. So
Right.
since I'm not that fucking guy and I don't have anything to do with that, I've learned to just walk the fuck away. And that's what I do. I had me a tasty, tasty fucking taco. And that was my day. I was like, I'm sorry you're having a fight, but hey, let's smoke a bowl. Who gives a fuck? Hey,
I
speaking of fighting,
Mhm.
if we could,
Yep.
most people have talked about it. I was fired up to talk about it last week, but the fight has now happened, so that's good. But the Jake Paul Tyson fight was an unfortunate topic that Alex agreed that we could discuss because that fight was pretty fucking unfortunate, to be honest with you. Not uncommon, right? There's been a lot of the whole unfortunate thing about this is everyone in the world knows that unequivocally the fight was thrown and it was
Mhm.
bullshit and it was all fake. And I think that's what everyone's kind of like just not happy about. But what is your take on it?
Well,
And
hard for
did
me.
you see it? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, of
Did you
course.
see
Yeah,
it?
of course.
Oh, okay,
I
gotcha.
watched I watched that fight once because it's all you need to do. I've seen a lot of clips from it, and I watched the co-main event, um, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
Oh,
I watched that one twice,
that was
and
great.
if people don't know this about me, I'm a big fight fan. I like MMA. I like
Yeah,
boxing. I love both those sports. I love jiu-jitsu. I watch all three of those sports um, a lot. So I was excited about the Amanda Serrano and the Katie Taylor fight already because they've already had a fight before, and it was
yeah.
very similar fight. I actually like the
And
outcome
Madison
was
Square Garden.
like a big controversy and everything. But the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight basically went how I personally thought it was going to happen. Like I was like, Jake Paul's going to win in decision. He's going to win no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally wanted to think that it wasn't going to be a work, you know. I wanted to think that it wasn't going to be
Yeah,
rigged because if you look
you
at
know it.
like some other Jake Paul's fights, you go, okay, he fought this MMA champion, Tyron Woodley, and he
Yeah,
fought him. First one he won by decision. The second one he knocked Tyron out. And
right.
that second fight, you see clips. They're like fighting, and Jake Paul goes like this with his gloves. He goes like that, and then immediately after that, he knocked Tyron out. Like everyone's like that was the signal,
It's
and
coming.
yeah. So, but there was like that fight and the Mike Tyson fight. I thought were after watching it, I thought were definitely fake, paid off.
Oh
But
yeah.
there's other of his fights that I didn't think that were. But now I'm starting to question maybe all of them were. Because like there's parts in the Mike Tyson fight where you see different clips and different angles where Mike is like totally open for a huge like overhand right, and Mike goes like this,
he
like
pulls
he
it.
throws it and then pulls it back, like
He pulls
his
it.
body is just like muscle memory, and then he goes, no, don't do that. And Jake Paul
Yeah.
was like wide open, like just right there.
You see that one shot where it's a right, it's an overhand right, and you can see it, and Tyson's like this, and he has him dead to rights. That was it, and then he drops his shoulder. And on the first round, there's a clip of where they wrap up,
Mhm.
and Paul is there. Everyone's like, "Look, Paul's telling him right here, chill out," and he does chill out. From that, in the first round, Tyson came out like he was going to fight, and they
Mhm.
calmed down and they walked. It was so embarrassing. The rest of the 8 rounds, like I was just like, this is so fucking bad. And they said that in his rider, like in his contract, he had to make all 8 rounds. Jake Paul had to win. Jake Paul did actually pick all the refs. Like and then there's all this footage now on the internet of Jake Paul saying 4 years ago, every boxing match is fixed. It's all rigged. So of course this man's mentality.
Mhm.
But you have to remember this kid's a fucking YouTube star. Like this is how he started making his money.
He's a Disney kid. He was a fucking Disney kid. That's how he fucking started.
Right. But then he really
Mhm.
Disney. I didn't Disney kid, but the YouTube shit, like he is the king of bullshit marketing.
Oh yeah.
And that's what this is. This is bullshit marketing. And I think when he said the biggest thing he's proud of all this shit wasn't the fight or it was the fact that it's all bullshit anyway. But he said the Katie Taylor fight. I think he fancies himself more of a boxing promoter going forward because he's happy that he was able to put those two together
Right.
and have that fight happen on his card. Um, but and anyone that Jake Paul, it's Jake. Yeah, he embarrassed himself. Like, Jake Paul knew that he was fucked anyway, no matter what he did. There's a documentary leading up to this fight, and I
Mhm.
watched all that. And he said that he was like, I'm fucked either way. If I win, they're gonna say I'm a piece of shit. If they lose, they'll say I'm a piece of shit. So it doesn't matter. So when you have that mentality, it's like, okay, yeah. So you called Tyson, and you were like, hey, 20 million if you take a dive.
Yeah.
And Tyson's like, sure, 20 million, you got it.
Well, because
And that's what he said.
I was I saw some like old MMA fighters talking about this fight, and
Mm-hmm.
it brought up a really good point, which makes sense. That how to rig a fight without letting even the person that is going to throw the fight to necessarily not even know that the fight's rigged.
So you're saying Tyson?
No, I'm not saying he probably knew, but I'm saying that there's ways, and this is what he was talking about is like in MMA, and like there's fight of the night bonuses. You
Yeah,
could have like fight of the night, like knockout of the night. Then some organizations there's submission of the night,
right.
and the guy that was talking about this wasn't saying that's how this is gonna be, but he was like maybe in this fight there's a decision of the night, going the distance of the night, not fight of the night, not blah blah blah, but in like who had the best decision, and maybe that was an incentive behind the scenes. They're like, well, if we go to decision and it's a good decision, you could get a decision bonus. Decision bonus. That means
Right.
is I'm paying you to let me win fight. Like
Right.
so. When before the fight happened, I was like, no, this is gonna be a real fight. Like, I just think Mike Tyson's gonna lose. That's all. And I started watching. I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I thought that. This fight is definitely rigged. There was many, many, many times where Mike Tyson could have just punched his
Yeah.
head off his body.
Right. And there was a dude I saw this morning who apparently he was a UFC fighter, and his Jake Paul's team, sent him the NDA agreement to see if he wanted to fight, and he read the NDA, and it's had things in there like if you go the distance, you make this much. If you only make it a couple of rounds, you get this much. If you knock him out, you get nothing.
Right.
And so he was like, I can talk about this because I never signed the NDA. I never took the fight.
Right.
But this is the shit that they sent my way. So I just look at it like, okay, this kid's a YouTuber, and this is his next thing, and he's trying to work his way. I don't know if he'll ever be an actual boxer or not. I don't know. I kind of fucking doubt it. But I guess what I don't like about it is that I'll just say thank God that there was a real fight right before that,
Yeah.
because that was real boxing,
Mhm.
and maybe that's how he got rid of some of his guilt, because I would feel guilty in robbing everybody. I mean, really, it was bullshit. But there was the two fights before those. I watched it all live. I ended up
Me
going to
too.
see Lewis Black that night,
Oh,
but
really?
I just yeah, fuck yeah, it's his last time in town. I had to go. Um,
It's his last time in.
but
What do you mean?
Lewis Black's done touring.
Oh, he's retiring.
Yeah, and so I wanted to see a hardcore screamy meme comic perform in Portland, and I did,
Mm-hmm.
and even
Oh,
he struggled.
oh yeah.
So good to know that anyway, whole nother can of worms there. But in between the comedy shows, I was watching the fights, and
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, for the opener for Lewis Black, I had my phone in my beanie in my lap. So I was like watching that because that fight was really good. But I just want to clarify something really quick. I never got to go back and watch. I saw the end of the fight and then I turned it off because I was at the comedy show. Who won that fight?
The Amanda and Katie one.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie Taylor.
That's crazy because it was such a fucking. Everyone was saying she didn't win the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
Well, see,
Christ.
that's the thing is like there are parts of boxing that's always been corrupt. Like the mob
Well, they
used to.
headbutted the shit out of each other, though. I
Yeah.
mean, because I was watching the fight live, and he's like, "Yo, the headbutts." He's like, they're both doing it. He's like, I'm telling both of them to knock it off, and I
Mhm.
was like, but he told Katie was fighting dirty. Like it seemed to
Yeah.
me that
She wasn't
her
doing.
Irish ass was fighting dirty the whole
Yeah.
time. Like,
She wasn't doing straight up like headbutts like this. She was just leading with her head. Like she was just
yeah,
poking with her, like putting her head in there.
yeah,
Like
putting it. It's just like wrestling. Like when you grind your chin on somebody or some shit. It's just
yeah,
agitating and it pisses you off.
yeah.
Like
And it just
really.
she got cut and it just kept on like pushing it open and open until it was just like this big vagina on her head. And uh I was they put it on at my work, so it was on at work and everyone
Oh.
in the bar was like, "Oh, like men and women were all like, "Oh, look at that vagina on her head." Like multiple people were just like, "There's a pussy on her head." It was like everyone was saying. I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah."
Well, it's funny that they said that Amanda, like they were like, and they were saying she just got her first smartphone today, and I was like, you let this fighter get a smartphone the day of her fight, she's gonna lose. She did. I was like, get the fuck out
What?
of here.
She's she's 36 years old.
Poor where she's at. I guess she finally won enough money for a fucking smartphone. I don't know what's going on down there, or her manager's pocketing a lot of the cash. But I was like, first day with a smartphone, she's distracted.
Yeah, yeah,
What picture did I use for my profile?
yeah. Yeah, they had to pull her away. She was playing Candy Crush. She couldn't fucking like.
I'm telling you. Yep, that's right. She's fucked. Now she's got half as much money, but all the time in the world.
um,
How about that?
no, that was a
That
great
was a
fight,
good fight.
and Amanda won that fight. I know she didn't get her hand raised, but
That's crazy that the other girl won twice. What a fucking conspiracy.
and the first fight was definitely I watched that one too, and that was definitely a closer of a fight. And honestly, that fight could have went either way. So the fact that it didn't go Amanda Serrano's way is fine because it was pretty close. But this one
Mhm.
was like, even if you look at, they show you the stats after every round and after the fight
The
too, and
hits,
it's like
yeah.
it's clearly Amanda's clearly up on everything. More landed strikes, more she won more rounds, but then she doesn't get her hand raised. Like I don't know, it's just there could be so many things, and you could say, "Oh, Jake Paul rigged that fight." Well, Jake Paul is like a big Amanda Serrano fan and pushes
Right.
her. He's like kind of not in her corner necessarily, but like he's like he loves her, like he loves her fighting style and stuff. So
Well,
I don't know.
the whole
I just know boxing in general. You could watch a boxing match and be like, that guy won, and all of a sudden that guy gets his hand raised. You're like, the mob used to have their big ties in boxing, and who knows if they still do. So
well, I honestly I think that was all just someone making money. Like you just said, that's like literally all I think this is that someone's like someone has to score that fight, and I can only imagine a couple people, and I can only imagine what kind of pressure they get from whoever. Like, if you want to walk to your car tonight,
yeah,
you know, yeah, yeah, that's it. It's I think that's like this is kind of like the demise of our entertainment. Like the entertainment that you and I, our age group, we're very fortunate that we grew up right in the prime time of entertainment, boxing and movies and fucking music. Like it really peaked at like 2000 and shit.
right.
And we were part of all that. We got to enjoy it all. But now our expectations are that it's still going to be whatever we, saw. And
It's a good
now it's
point.
like
It's a good point.
you can see it's all bullshit. I mean, it is bullshit, but it's blatant bullshit. It's like not even they're like it's kind of like Jake Paul standing there right now, like, yeah, it was fixed. So what? So I got paid. So
Yeah.
what? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? Nothing. Shut your mouth. It's like, okay, fine. I don't know why the fuck we watched it. I mean, you got us, but how many more times are you gonna get us? I'm not watching another one of your fucking fights. Like, I'm not wasting my time. If you get your jaw taken off, then I'll watch. Well, I'll just watch the clip on YouTube. But I'm not gonna watch anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. That was bullshit. Who else? He's fought other people, and it's all it's fucking fixed.
Well,
Or
see, that's the
what
thing
was the other?
is there's fighters that I know that he fought that I have a hard time thinking that it's fixed, but it's like there's like old champions, old MMA fighters. He's only fought one real boxer, and he actually lost that fight. He's lost one time.
Yeah,
He lost that fight to Tommy Fury, who was the
yeah,
legit. They're like the same age. They have this almost the same amount of fights. The only difference is Tommy is a real boxer, and he's only fought real boxers other than
right.
Jake Paul.
And Jake Paul's a YouTube star who's setting up fights for money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is like you get on the phone with Mike Tyson, and you're like, hey, I know you haven't had a payday in a while. You're like, and Tyson said he was like, what did he say? He's like, fuck a legacy. I need to take care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now Tyson wants to fight another fight. And why do you think that is? Because he probably feels like, hey, I'm not going to go out feeling like a chump. I know I still got it. We all saw the footage of him fighting,
Mm-hmm.
like warming up for this shit. I'm like, he's going to kill this guy. If he hits him, he's going to take his fucking head off. And Jake Paul knew that. He knew. He's like, this is, if you hit me, I'm dead. So you cannot hit me. You get no, they said he got no money if he fucking took him down. He got paid nothing. So it's like, what are we watching, man? Like, what the fuck? This is an entertainment.
Well, see,
And
that's
I
the
think
thing.
that's why the other two fights, because the fight before the girls was really good too. And it was that was a very good fight.
It
And
was
it's
fun.
just like, I think dude feels bad. You feel a little guilt. You're like, I got to give him some boxing, because otherwise you're not going to see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what that was. It was nothing. But thank you, Jake Paul, because that was included in my membership already. I didn't have to pay extra. And thank you for showing me the best female boxing match I've ever seen. So for
Right.
that, thank you. And whatever you did after that, I actually didn't watch it live. I was watching Lewis Black, so it worked out perfect because I might have thrown my fucking phone at the stage if I had bothered to watch that while he was on. I've never been in a venue like out in the lobby watching something on my phone. I always think those idiots are idiots, but I was like, and everyone's looking at me. I got my headphones in. I'm like, wow, ooh, because those two girls are beating the shit out of each other. I'm like, was it in the lobby? Like, yeah, come on, fuck her up, like,
Right.
scaring the shit out of everyone in the fucking Snitcher concert hall.
It was the most. I think it was the most watched boxing match of all time, which makes sense
Yeah, but
because everyone has Netflix.
Yeah, but did you see the quality? People were like, it was like glitching and shit for half the world.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
What I saw was crystal clear. I don't
yeah. It was whatever. Another American farce.
know.
We're totally full of shit.
Yeah.
Just proving it again. Money
Right.
trumps everything. Whatever. Um, we were going to talk about some other shit with Bill Burr and whatnot. I just don't think we have the time to squeeze all that in and talk
Yeah.
about music.
Yeah, we got to get
Um,
onto the
yep.
music.
Yes, sir. So we landed on the wheel. We landed on the band Menomena, who I had chosen, and their song "Muscle and Flow." A little bit of an indie rock, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I liked it. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I want to say that when I first tried to find them on iTunes and on YouTube, um, I kept on writing. I'm an idiot. I kept on writing
Monogamous.
phenomena like for the Muppets, like 2 words, and everything that I typed in, it was just the Muppets kept on, phenomena, and that like kept on, it kept on popping up. I'm like, there's no way that it's this. It's no way that we're gonna review phenomena, like.
Oh
But
shit.
then I watched and listened to a little bit of that, and I was like, "This is pretty cool. I like this." But I finally found Muscle and Flow, and it just it made me like realize or kind of how you feel when I like put like death metal on, and I'm like, no, you can listen to it anytime, anywhere. It doesn't have to be just the gym. Now I feel how you feel. Because I just got to be honest, it's like I know it's good because people like it, and I see the merit in it, and the music, the instrumentation is very good. Like I could tell that they're doing really cool stuff with their instruments, but it's
Right.
music I would not listen to day to day.
Fair
Like
enough.
I probably will never turn this on again, even though like
That's funny.
the first time I went to Sasquatch, the festival with you, they played us on a side stage. And I
Yeah.
remember watching them and being like, oh, I like this. And then I remember probably why I thought that is because I was high on so many different things out of my goddamn mind where if the Muppets were up there going, "Manamana," I'd be like, yeah. So like everything's relative. But
Holy shit, that's funny.
um
That's really funny.
I just I thought it was it's like overall it's good. Like people like it. I'm everyone besides you probably has like thick rimmed glasses and cardigans on when they're listening to it. But
They did it the show.
yeah, yeah. And so that's fine, but it's just not my cup of sugar cookies, you know? It's just not my thing.
Right. That's funny.
Um uh I like the Muppets though. That's dope. I like that shit. Like there's just there's parts of the lyrics that are pretty cool. So if I could something I liked about it, I like some of the lyrics. There's like a guitar part that like it was really cool because I could tell the way he was playing it was like this up down stroke thing, like
Yeah.
like it was like that is really cool. But overall, as a song I think I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Right.
And I think just because, and feel like for me that's high just because I think their instrumentation and the lyrics are pretty good.
Yeah. Right. It didn't put the hook in you. It's emotional music, really. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And they're from
I
Portland.
know. And then I started thinking about you again because I was like, I can listen to anything and it wouldn't affect my mood. And I put this on. I'm like, Tony's trying to make me feel things. What is this?
Ew.
What are
I
these?
stepped in feelings.
What is that? What is this salty discharge? Why am I feeling that?
Dude, the reason I like that song is in the beginning. Basically, the line is, in the morning, I wake up, put on my makeup. It's another daily struggle. But
Mm.
yes, it's emotional. But for anyone waking up in the morning, it's fucking Monday and you hate life. That's why I like that song so much. Like those lyrics put the hook in me right there. Yes, it's emotional. No, it's not for everyone. I think you did really well and made me laugh about it. So that was fucking hilarious. But you're right. It's emotional music, and I'm gonna agree with you that the musicianship in there. Like I saw them live recently. They're fucking great. I mean, and then dude has this giant sax, and you can hear it in that song. All of a sudden, he just walks over the sax like burm, 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 with his guitar wrapped around his neck. You know, musicians do that shit. I think that's great. But yeah, if this ain't your cup of Panther piss, then I get it, not a
Well,
problem. But
yeah.
you can appreciate a good musicians and write good writing. They're from Portland, which is funny because yes, it matches when it's fucking raining outside. It's like this is it. This is the Portland soundtrack. They wrote this shit to this weather. They
Right.
used to live downtown in the northwest. And when they wrote one of their first songs, it was old. They told this story how they recorded it on a tape, and the only way they could hear it back was to play it in the car. So they were playing their first Menomena song driving around Portland in the early 2000s.
Huh.
So to me, like that's like it's got a lot of like meaning to me personally. That's why I like it, and it has no meaning to you whatsoever. So of course,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
but
I
you
like
can
emotional
appreciate it for
music.
what it is.
Like, I
Right.
like that poor Eeyore thing. I like that. I love Typo Negative. That's Typo Negative. Some of the most emotional, moody music you'll ever fucking hear. I guess
Right.
it just the overall tone of the music. I think is kind of what is makes me have the opinion that I have. I think the the tone of his voice, just the way he sounds, isn't. I just don't like who he is. You know.
Shut up. The funny thing is, he's actually a super handsome fellow. He
I'm
really
sure he
is.
is,
Like,
and that
he's
would
got
make
the
me.
ponytail and the muscles. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
that would probably make me even more mad.
he's got like, like the shorts on in the winter, because he's got amazing calves,
Oh yeah.
but
Or,
he's a ladies' man. Like, he's a
oh, I'm sure he
Portland
has. Yeah,
ladies' man.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
has to wipe the pussy off his face every show he has. So, all right, I'm ready to play. You fucking asshole. And you show your emotions. Get fucked. Now I'm mad, Tony. Now I'm fucking mad.
But he can sing though, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah,
here
yeah. See,
I stand. You're like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It
Until
makes
everyone
me
starts
wet.
throwing his like, here's my underwear. Like,
I did it all for the pussy. The what? The
see,
pussy.
now that's
What?
what gets my fucking pussy wet. I'll tell you what, I'm fucking gaping when I when I hear.
Chocolate starfish and a
Yeah, I'm
hot
like,
dog flavored water.
listen, Freddie, I'll show you.
Fine. You can pick the next Limp Bizkit song we listen to. How about that?
Yeah,
My God. I'm getting you front row tickets to Corey Feldman's next show.
fucking A.
Limp Bizkit will be the opener.
But no, there's definitely good shit about it. That is, it wasn't an F. It was just for me. It was,
No,
one of those things.
you have me listen to some stuff where I'm like, I can't do this, but
Yeah.
I'm doing it. And that's it. And I'm like, hey, I respect it. I say the same shit you do, trying to find good things to say about it. But it's right. It's like, I appreciate it for what it is, but I ain't turning it on.
Yeah.
Like, cool. That's it. Yeah. I like the show. I don't want us to like everything all the time because it's like, fuck all that. That's
Well,
not
no,
fun.
there's a cattle decapitation song on the fucking list. So
Right. And there's that band that a guy recommended to me, Buzzard Fight, and we haven't heard that yet. And that's really fucking heavy. I'm like, Jesus.
I know you've already heard the band already, but what if it was just it sounded like Menomena? That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be weird.
What? But no, there's an artist like that, like the artist Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's similar to Menomena, but you hear it, you read it, like there's an artist named Destroyer, you're like, oh, that's a metal band.
No, right? It's
No.
not. It's deceiving.
But
It's-
yeah, yeah, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, it's the Muppets rule.
yeah, exactly. I like
I
that better. That's the
I
funniest
should
part.
I knew that was gonna come up. I knew that was gonna be a thing when I typed it in. I think what happened is I just finally typed in muscle and flow and it popped up.
Right.
which I
I
should have
love that.
fucking done. You know.
I like the dumb, I like the stupid stories that come with finding that. That's funny. That's the best part of the whole story right there. You getting stuck with the Muppets.
Right. Um.
Next time I'm just gonna pick the Muppets.
Yeah.
We're all friends.
What else? What else do you like about this song?
I like the. I mean, like I said, I just like the band in general. I was nerding out on them when they played in town,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much when I picked this song. Um, but I think their sound fits Portland. If you,
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's all there is to it. Like if someone just moved here, I'd be like, hey, you should check out this band. Like they nailed it, 100%. But they also haven't performed in like 10 years or so.
Oh, really?
You can't even really
Oh,
find
wow.
a lot of their music around. I hit them up like through their tour manager just to get some records off them, and they were like, "Nope, you're fucked." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Like,
Really?
then we don't have anything in rotation right now or anything. The show that I saw was the first show they'd done in, I think they said 15 years.
Wow.
So, it was, and the second night they had problems on stage, like he couldn't get the song right. It was funny. Like I thought it was great. Like yeah, to restart the song like 4 times. I'd never seen anything like that before. Just
Wow.
like, yeah, shit like that creates memories for me. Sometimes that's why I pick a band. I'm like, hey, it's a Portland band, that kind of thing. But at the same time, you're more of a heavier guy who just I think like you like a lot of like the loud shit just to like occupy your mind. Can't hear nothing else with that going on. And then with me, it's just like well, I'm emotional. And it's like, great, let's find your emotion. And I'm like, oh, there it is. Nice, soppy, sad shit right here. That'll do me just fine.
Yeah.
And then other days, 5 minutes later, I'm like, hey, let's smoke a bowl with Bob Marley. Fuck it. And then 10 minutes later, I'm listening to, death metal. Someone get thrown through a ceiling fan or some shit.
Right.
Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
if you can't tell, my dog has a lot of emotions right now, and she's just yelling. She's going through it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Hey, I hear you, Emma. It's okay. We're almost done. Yeah. So speaking, I like that song. I like the band. I'm really glad that you had an adventure finding the music, and I know you appreciate good music, like you said. But the Muppet thing, that's why I'm glad you looked it up. That was funny.
Yeah.
Whatever you can get out of it, that's all I'm looking for. So
Right.
yeah. Hey, if you're looking for something like that really great musicianship, but you're kind of sad inside, check out Menomena, spelled Menomena. That's right. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Menomena. All right. So the Wheel of Music. It's time for the Wheel of Music, and let's see here. Oh, look at that shiny little devil. All right, number 1, we have Van Halen. This is right, yep. Van Halen with Everybody Wants Some. Number 2 is Tupac, Only God Can Judge Me. Number 3 is Salt with Wildfires. Number 4 is Empty. Number 5 is a cool cover that we found, The Sword covering Locomotive Breath by, help me out here, Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Jethro Tull cover of Locomotive Breath by The Sword. That's number 5 now. Number 6 is Metallica, Call for of Kootaloo. Number 7 is Cattle Decapitation, Karma, Bloody Karma. Number 9 is Buzzard Fight with New World Vultures. Number 10 is Hank Williams Jr. with Dinosaur. There it is. Something heavy.
8.
8. Nothing. Empty space.
Okay.
4. Nothing. Empty space.
God damn it.
This is fun. Hold on to that wheel. 3.
3.
All right. The band is called Salt. The song is called Wildfires, and Alex will probably have another thing to say about emotional music. Sorry, man. I was hoping for something heavy. I even said it.
No.
Right.
It's part of the show. That's honestly, that's what we do. So
If we need to invent a veto, let me know.
no, it's the whole part of it. Like someone could actually suggest Menomena by the Muppets, and we would have to listen to it. Like that's part of the deal. That's what we do.
Well, that's what we'll be listening to on the next show, so we can all hear what Alex has to say about a cute woman singing fancy little. It sounds nice. It reminds me like Phanogram or something like that. That's what the band's Salt. The song is Wildfires. But hope y'all enjoyed the show. And
yeah, we did it. You would like to suggest a song, you could go to tipfoo69. You could direct message us and leave us your suggestion for a song, or you could go to YouTube, and in the most recent episode in the comment section, you could leave your suggestion. And please do that, because it's been a while since someone has done that. So, and you could say hi, talk to us, fucking shit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.